At Half Price Drapes, you have the option to order custom headers. The first group you'll be using on a decorative rod with rings, or you could use these on a traversing rod as well, something with a pull cord that's going to open and close your drapes for you. First, let's look at the most commonly known pleat called the pinch pleat. This is also known as a triple pleat. Some people call it a French pleat. It's a series of pleats that are folded 3 times and it's pinched down at the bottom. This is going to create a very tailored traditional look for you. And you're going to use this with a decorative rod and rings or a traverse rod. Next, we're going to look at the Parisian pleat. This is also sometimes called a Euro pleat. It adds a little bit more of a contemporary touch to the traditional French pleat by placing the tack up at the top of the triple pleat instead of down at the bottom. You can also use this on a decorative rod with rings or a traversing rod. Now let's look at the goblet pleat. This is very similar to the French and Parisian pleat in that there's a pinch down at the bottom, but instead of 3 folds, there's only 1, and it's formed into a cup. This creates a very formal, dramatic look, and you're going to use this on a decorative rod with rings or a traversing rod. Now let's look at the inverted pleat. This is a very contemporary look. It differs from the pinch pleat because instead of folds in the front, there are actually folds in the back, and you just see a sewn line. This is going to create very strong vertical lines in your drapery. And you're going to use this on a decorative rod with rings or even on a traversing rod. This is our tie top drapery panel. There's several ways you could attach this to a decorative rod. You can tie it on and form bows or just a simple knot. This is going to create a very casual, informal look in your home. Now let's look at the button tab top. This is very unique. It has little tabs with buttons that's going to create a very casual look and look a little more tailored than just the plain tie top. Here's the flat pole panel. It has a pocket sewn in it, and you can shear this onto a decorative rod to create a very relaxed, casual look. This is the most popular of our panels. Let's take a look at what's called the return of the panel. When you get your drapery panel, they'll have hooks in them. The last pleat goes on the last ring, and this flap is called the return. It doesn't get a ring, it goes back to the wall. You'll put a little eye hook in your wall or a screw and hook that on there. It gives it a nice finished look.